Hey guys. So, welcome everybody. Everybody that's coming in. Welcome to the live. And just give it a couple minutes before we get into the topic that we're going to be talking about today, but it's clear the topic that we're going to talk about today, which is meal prepping. TT, how you gonna be going to Costco without me? I feel like there's a lag going on with my stream. So let me know if you notice that. Hey, TT. So I don't know if I'm going to make it to Costco this weekend because I plan on doing some meal prepping and I have the things I need to do that. Hence why we're going to talk about that today. Just some meal prep ideas. What I'm planning on prepping this weekend, which is not my total meal prep, it's just where I'm starting at. So, but this is something I like to do in the fall. Well, as the summer is ending. So it's not necessarily in the fall, but I do it for the fall and for the winter. So yeah, welcome in everyone. But it's something I enjoy doing because for one, it makes my life easier. If you still have, even if you don't, but if you still have kids in school and you are a working parent, coming home after a day's work, I don't be wanting to cook. Not all the time. And I'm one of those women who cook most of the meals that we eat. So we don't eat out a lot either. We might eat out maybe once a week. Maybe. Sometimes not at all during the week. So I'm just wanting to chit chat about what I do and what we can all collectively share that we might do. Hi, Gina, really busy. I'll be in and out. That is fine, Teresa. How are you? Clearly busy. I get it. That will probably be me tomorrow. I don't know why I be booking up my Saturdays like I do. And when I say booking it up, I mean doing different prep stuff. Usually I'm probably grocery shopping in the morning just to get like little things to fill in the week. So milk, eggs, stuff like that, bread that we might need. And then I usually might be like canning or prepping after that. All day Saturday. So by the time I get to TT's canning live, y'all, I be tired. Hey, Yaya's Best Life. How are you? Welcome. So we gonna be talking about some meal prepping. However, okay, you guys have to tell me because I'm not that savvy with StreamYard yet. I'm getting better, but I think I pinned the link for this live. So let me know if it is pinned. And if you're new to one of my lives, I do have Nightbot set up. So if you type Frugal, Frugal, in the comments, it will drop your channel link. So Frugal is not cap sensitive. So however you type it in there, it's going to drop your channel link. And if you type Joke, Joke, in the comments, it will drop a joke. And Nightbot think he funny. Great. Okay. Because on my end, I can't tell. I know I started, but I didn't know if that meant it was pinned. So clearly it does. Thank you, TT. So I pinned it because if anybody wants to come up and talk about what they do to, if they meal prep, if you meal prep, if you what you do to meal prep, or if you're, just somebody who wants to talk about meal prepping because you might be interested in doing so. Hey, Mike, how are you? Welcome, welcome. So, what I typically do is I do two types of, well, I used to. I do a little bit more now, but I used to do two types of meal prep. And I did Crockpot freezer meal prep, which is basically you're putting everything into a freezer Ziploc bag so that the day that you're going to make the meal, you can just take it out the night before, put it in your fridge. That morning before you leave out to go to work or wherever, when you're going to be gone that day, you dump all that in your crock pot. Everything for that meal is in there. Set it, go on about your day. When it's time to eat, dinner is ready. No muss, no fuss. So I do those, and I also do just freezer meal prep. So I might prep lasagna. I might prep any kind of rice or pasta dish you can prep. I might prep rice, like a dirty rice or something. I have done that. It freezes well. It heats up well. But I don't eat dirty rice like I don't know. I don't know if if people eat dirty rice as a meal because there's usually meat in it. I still eat it as a side. So usually there's dirty rice with something else. So I don't prep it as an entire meal. So you do meal prep for the week, Mike. See, I do on a bigger scale. I want to do, usually if I meal prep, like tomorrow, for instance, I plan on meal prepping a lot of ground beef prep. So some of it will be meals, some of it will just be prep. So when I prep my ground beef, I might prep burgers, meatballs, meatloaf, and I don't cook those items. I just prep them. I season everything. I pat out my burgers. I have like parchment paper that I can put between them, and I put them into I'll either do a freezer Ziploc or I'll use my what is that thing called? Where you vacuum sealer to seal it up. Either way, and then I just put it into my freezer, and I have it already prepped. Do the same thing with meatballs and meatloaf. I also cook a lot of ground beef, and then I will prep it in different ways as well. Hey, Psalms 146, how are you? I will prep it, the cooked ground beef. Some of it I usually season it all very light though. I don't heavy season the ground beef when I cook it because I want it to be able to be used for whatever. So what I used to do is I used to prep some as pasta meat sauce and some as taco meat. Well, what I found is why go through doing all that? Just lightly season it and go ahead and freeze it that way. And I freeze it in 1 pound amounts. So I will vacuum seal that or put it in a freezer Ziploc bag. And then I have 1 pound of ground beef that I can do whatever I want to do with it. I can make spaghetti. I can make whatever, tacos, stroganoff, whatever. Tonight I made my husband a stir fry with some ground beef. So whatever I want. And I don't have to worry about cooking the ground beef. It's already cooked. So tonight all I had to do was chop up a few vegetables, which I do that anyway. These vegetables I chopped up, I took out the garden. I had some green and purple bell peppers that were ready. I wanted to put some of the purple into the stir fry. And I already had green, red, yellow, orange in my freezer. I keep chopped up onions and peppers in my freezer. So when I want to make a stir fry or something, go in the freezer, pull them out, throw them in there. I ain't got to do no work. I ain't got to chop up or slice up no veggies. So I'm about that life. I am about that life. So definitely something that I enjoy doing because it just makes it so much easier and so much more stress free. So I even meal plan. I have been slacking on that, and I think I've mentioned it before in one of my lives, but it's definitely something I want to get back to, especially for the fall, because it's just it's just chaotic. It's chaotic. So it's easy when you could just go in the freezer the night before, take that item out. It may be a pre-made. I do like a ravioli lasagna or regular lasagna. May it be a pan of that. It's no different than what you're buying at the store. You might as well fix it up yourself and have your own in your freezer that's cooked to your liking. You could do a veggie lasagna. It don't have to have no meat in it. Any other things. Hey, blind guy, his wife, their life. How y'all doing? So yes, that's and you know what? That's why I do it mostly now. I don't really usually have a lot of meal prep. In the summer, I do a little bit, but not as much as I do for the fall and winter because with school, if you got kids in sports, stopping to like, it's too busy. We just don't have to run and get McDonald's or run and get mm-mm, prep, prep. It is. It is I found that a couple years, probably it's been probably longer than that. Some years back, I saw somebody do that. I was like, genius, genius. But I do it both ways, and then I just freeze it, and it turns out just fine. It turns out just fine. And I like so with the ground beef. Tomorrow I'll be doing for sure meatballs and meatloaf. I already have burgers that are prepped in my freezer, so I won't be doing any more of that. And I will be cooking up some ground beef, and I'll probably end up with I don't know 10 to 12 1 pound packages of ground beef, which is not like a ridiculously large amount of ground beef, but it's not all the time that I don't feel like cooking it. So those are in there, not just to grab on willy nilly. I grab those things when I'm like, it's a busy day or a busy week. And I'm like, I don't have time to really be worrying about cooking up some ground beef. I'll just grab the ones that's already cooked, put it in the fridge the night before. By the time I get home, all I gotta do is put it in the pan. I usually add a little bit of water and whatever I'm gonna add to it. If I'm adding spaghetti pasta sauce, I don't need to add no water. But if I'm doing a taco flavored one or nachos or whatever, I add a little bit of water in my seasoning, let it simmer, and dinner's ready in no time. I ain't got to stand over it and do nothing. Just let it simmer and cook in the flavor. So that's some of my life hacks, and I enjoy it. So what I do with the Crockpot meals, I don't do any of the crock pot meals with ground beef, but I will do it with like a roast or something. I do a lot of them with chicken. Chicken is something that I don't like to pre-cook and reheat, so I like it for the crock pot meals because everything is just dumped in, set it, and it's gonna be whatever it is. So I do like chicken and gravy or um, barbecue chicken, shredded barbecue chicken, or whatever like that. My husband is a carnivore, so yeah, that I do a lot more meatless meals. I don't typically like if I make me a stir fry, it's usually all veggies. Do I like meat? Every now and again, but I can. If I was told that couldn't have meat again, I'm not losing any sleep. But that's just me. I know I'm not everybody, but you can make anything. Like you don't have to do meat for your preps. Just as something that you would cook. Like some people like the stuffed pepper soup or stuffed peppers. You can make your stuffed peppers and freeze them. So whatever night you want to have stuffed peppers, however you make yours, it's already everything's put together. There's no work to be done. There's no rice to be cooked. There's no whatever you're putting in yours. It's already ready. You just have to pretty much warm it up. However you're going to do it. Put it in the oven. Put it in the air fryer. Put it in the microwave. Whatever. I'm telling you. We do appetizers, so there's never there's never a hunger war if dinner is late. Simple stuff like hummus, veggies. Yes. Yes. You know what? That doesn't work at my house because of the carnivore. He don't want to have a little snacky stuff. And they're like vultures. And like, especially my daughter, sometimes I'll see her like peeking into the kitchen to see what I'm doing. I'd be like, TT, don't be losing no sleep. Hey, Lashes. Hey, Mona. How y'all doing? So yes, those are some of the things that I do. I'll go on Pinterest or something if I'm looking for something different, something just to try. One of my favorites to have in the fall is chicken chili. That's actually one of my favorites to have, and it has more beans than anything in it. It has chicken in it though, and you can make it how you like it. I just like mine with a lot of beans. I put a lot of beans in it. So yes, stuffed peppers. I've seen people do it with you know what, and Psalms, what a lot of people do with things that have cheese. Now I know the stuffed peppers, I think you put the cheese in the mixture sometimes, but like say you sprinkle a little bit of cheese on top when you bake it, just do that when you bake it. Don't freeze it like that, just do it when you bake it. But the foundation of it is already done, so all you got to do is let them bake up and get nice and ready. Put that cheese on top right before you're about to, take them out, roll them for a little bit just to get it bubbly and a little brown. No muss, no fuss. That's what I'm talking about. Yes, please share. Please share the stream. And like I said, if you weren't in here from the beginning, I did pin the link if you want to come up and talk about meal prepping, something you might be doing as a meal prep that you like to share, or just talk about it and get more information about meal prepping or some of the things that you could do. I absolutely do this, yeah. um I don't do it for juicing, but if I was juicing, I would do it for that. I used to juice a long time ago, but I got tired of how much it took to get a significant amount of juice compared to, like, I don't think people realize when you're using fresh veggies and fruit, how much of it takes to get a significant amount of juice. It takes a lot. But I have also seen with people who juice, because that was something I didn't know to do, having something to do with the scraps. And I've seen people use those for different things too. So there's really no scraps. But yes, I would definitely do that. I do that with my veggies a lot. I chop up and dice. I do some sliced and some diced because if I want to have fajitas or something or stir fries, I like the sliced veggies. If I'm making like a soup or something or a stew, I like them chopped. So I have bags of veggies in my freezer that are both ways. And actually, I need to process my onions that I grew this year because I did grow a significant amount of onions and dice and slice them up and get those frozen. But it just makes things so much less stressful for one. For two, just think about how prices are going up on things. If you catch something on a good deal and you're in a store and they have like some kind of veggie, peppers, onions, celery, whatever, on a good deal, and it's something that can be frozen, grab a couple bags of them. Take the time to just like an hour, maybe an hour and a half, slice everything up, dice everything up, package it, and freeze it. You'll thank yourself later. Trust me, you will thank yourself later. Beets and carrots are my go to. Yeah, cleaning out the machine is a hassle, but I have found out with a lot of things. A lot of these gadgets can be a hassle cleaning them. What did you say, Mike? I make all my protein shakes for the week in blender and freeze. I don't like that with my protein shakes, but I do like it with a smoothie. which is I do the difference is I don't put protein powder in a smoothie, and I don't really like protein powder to begin with. So a lot of times I use the I like the Fairlife protein shakes, and I also like the I used to get the muscle milk, but now I mostly get the Fairlife, and I like the ones that are in the little bottles that's already mixed, because I swear the powder ones just don't seem like they get that. I can still taste the powderiness of it. I'm weird like that. But there was a brand I used to get that somebody got me turned on to, that I could do the powder. I can't remember what it's called though, but I can be picky when it comes to protein powders. Um, but that works. Hey, I say anything that works, and I've done protein um, ice cream as well myself. Yes, I say whatever works. Whatever works for you to be a time saver, and also just to keep you from spending your money in these restaurants and buying all this expensive stuff. Yes, quesadillas. Blind guy, his wife, their life says I do quesadillas for several days. Yes, yes. Not really yes, that is a real meal prep. Yes, that is. I do breakfast sandwiches. I do my youngest. She likes peanut butter. She's not young though. She's 13, but she loves peanut butter and jelly. We will prep those. I mean, is it a lot to make it? I think that's why you're like, is that real? That's not really real meal prep. It is, because guess what? Even though that's not something that takes a lot of time and energy to do, it's you don't have to use it now at all. Because guess what? They could take that out themselves, wrap it in a moist paper towel, microwave it for like whatever 30 seconds, a minute, and they got it. It's lunch. It's a snack. It's whatever. Get a little salsa out. Hey, on a really busy week, it's a dinner. Just pull those out. Pull out some salsa, some avocado, and whatever, a guac or whatever you want to have with it. Maybe a couple tortilla chips as well. I don't think kids are going to be like, oh, this is what we have. I bet they don't. I bet money they don't. It'll be just fine. But if you're in a clutch, you be like, you know what? We got those quesadillas in there. We're going to just have that for dinner tonight. Or throw some rice or some beans on the side with it. Girl, that is real meal prep. I say anything that just means that I don't have to do it when it's time to deal with it, if I don't have the time. And like I said, with my preps, like when I do the prep for cooked ground beef and stuff like that, if I have the time and energy to actually cook it or put together a meatloaf or whatever the day I'm cooking it, I'm not going to use my prep stuff. I literally want that there for the times that I need the time saving, or if I'm just that week, I'm just like, I'm just having that kind of week. If you're a woman, you probably have that kind of week every month. And I do. I have a week where I have at least 3 or 4 days where I'm just like, I'm just fatigued and I just don't feel like it. I just don't want to do anything. I want to be lazy today, and that's okay. So, guess what? I'm going to pull out my preps. But I don't want to use up all my preps really quick, because then I have to prep it all over again. And I don't need to use them all the time. Sometimes like I said, I have the energy to get in there and just cook whatever the item is. I'm not going to waste my preps on that. My preps are for when I don't feel like it. And I have happy moments when I find something that I thought I had used up that I prepped. I just found a meatloaf a week or so ago in my freezer that I was like, oh, I still got a meatloaf left. So one day when I'm like on this, and usually I do meatloaf most times on Sundays, because it's just I don't have to feel like my vultures are staring me down in the kitchen, because it takes a little bit of time for that to cook. So yeah, or Saturday, any day that I'm off work and not needing to be at work. I agree, Mike. Quesadillas, talking about that ain't no real meal prep. That's real. That's real. And my kid and my husband like quesadillas. So I haven't even thought about meal prepping those. So I'm not even being funny. That's gonna be added to my that's getting added to my list of things that I can prep. Yes. That's perfect. Perfect. So that's going to be added to my list of things that I can prep up. And I do stuff like that. I don't know if any of you have actually like kind of um, watched through some of my old videos. And I mean old, because I think I did like a lot of the Crockpot freezer meal prep maybe 7 years ago. I think the videos are. They're kind of old. I mean, I don't have that many videos, so it's not going to be that hard to find it, but you will have to scroll back quite a bit. But they are kind of old, and I did one day all beef prep, and then one day I did all chicken prep. But like I said, meal prep is customizable. If I tell people that when I post my videos, a lot of times when I do recipe videos, if it's something in the recipe that you don't like, it's probably not going to alter the recipe much to take it out. The only way you're going to alter the recipe much is if you're looking at a chicken Alfredo or an Alfredo recipe and you're like, but I don't like Alfredo. Well, this recipe is not for you, you know. But if it's an Alfredo recipe and it has chicken in it, or it has shrimp in it, or it has beef in it, you're like, I don't eat those things, that can be omitted. You can use mushrooms. You can use whatever, whatever your heart's desire to add to your Alfredo. Or, you can make it the way it's given. It's not going to hurt it that much. So it's just going to change it to your liking. And I usually tell people that when they're watching my videos, because I have a lot of people say, like, I don't like this thing or I don't like that thing. Take it out. Because I do. I don't like onions. So I keep onions really big and things that I cook because I like the flavor it gives stuff, but I don't like the texture. I keep it big so I can pull it out. Or it's got to be diced up so fine that I don't feel the texture when I'm eating. So yeah. Hey, Village Food Season. Hey, is it Kingster Crabs? Hey there. Oh, you making the cilantro chicken? I saw you did. You commented on that video. I remember now. Awesome. She says she loves my Crockpot freezer meals. I'm telling you, they are. I wonder if you prep any of them. You got to prep them. That way you can have them already on, already prepped up. Because if you've been doing some of those freezer meals, then I mean those Crockpot freezer meals, then you know that I prep them in advance, and it makes life so much less. So much less stressful. Especially like I said, if you have kids at home and a husband, they be ready to eat and you be tired. Um, yes, you can definitely meal prep smoothies. Blind guy, his wife, their life, she was telling Lashes. Yes, I usually do a large command. I think that's probably good up for maybe a container is what you were trying to say. Yes. Hey, Urban, how you doing, sis? Um, yes, you could definitely do freeze your smoothies, and then when you're ready to drink them, if you want to just like kind of nook them a little bit, but not too long, because you don't you want to. I don't know because I don't know how you like yours, but I like mine to almost be thick, like a shake. That's how I like mine. I sometimes I will even take a spoon to 'em. I've done smoothie bowls where you make your smoothie, put it in a bowl, put some granola in there, some more fruit. I like those too. So yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Village Food Season. I am actually trying out a new webcam because the webcam on my laptop was, to me, um, kind of making me look like dark because of the dark background. So I was like, maybe I need to try something else. So Hopefully it looks better. Um, what is the Village Food Season? You came from last year's post on her community page with welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you stay. I post a lot of different stuff. My channel is just it's I whatever wherever the wind takes me. There's a lot of food stuff on there. So I do some, like I said, meal prep, Crockpot freezer meal prep, which I'm about to start doing those again because most of the videos I have for that stuff are really old. Lately, I've been doing a lot of gardening content because I did a garden for the last 2 years. This year, I kind of went all in. So it was a full-fledged garden this year. Um, and I've been doing some canning, which is new to me. This is the first year I've canned things. So I've canned pot roast, I've canned chicken soup, peaches, peppers, pickles, pasta sauce, yeah, salsa, all kinds of stuff. So I've been doing that. Um, but you're liable to find it's not all about food either. So you're like last couple of lives I've done. I talked about budgeting in one, and I talked about how I was able to get my credit score up in the 800s in the other one. So all kinds of all kinds of topics. You never know what you're going to see. Yes. And they are coming. I'm going to do some new ones. Like I said, my ones I have on there, they're still good. So you can still go back and look. Actually, most of my highest viewed videos are the Crockpot, most of the Crockpot meals. They're very highly viewed videos, and I get a lot of comments back about how people enjoy those recipes. So yeah, and like I said, if you don't eat a certain thing, um, you can always omit, or if you like something and I didn't put it in the recipe, add it. Add it. It's okay. It's okay. It's to your liking. Because, like I said, I don't like onions. So sometimes I just won't add it. But you can. You absolutely can. Kingston Craft says she canned, which canned some jelly, pickles. You know what? I want to do the corn relish. I saw that on someone's channel. I can't remember. Is it? Oh, I can't remember the channel. And I was like, that looks so good. Now, one of my favorite things to have is any almost any Mexican dish. And I was like, I like just a good tostada with some beans on it, and even if I put some meat on it and stuff. And I was like, that corn relish will probably be amazing on it. Tell me how you eat yours, because I was thinking that, but it could be something I haven't thought of, and I have not canned that. I did can jelly. I did some. I didn't do regular jelly though. I did some pepper jelly. So yeah, I have some peaches that I was going to do some peach jam, but I started canning up the whole, not whole peaches, but I sliced them up and canned up peaches that way, and I got exhausted. So I didn't do the jam. I may still do it, but then I saw somebody do a pineapple jam, and I was like, canning can get out of hand because everything sounds good. It does. I'm gonna put onions in everything. Mike, most people do. I see people in these YouTube streets cooking, and they almost take a whole onion and it goes into a dish, and I'd be like, so I'm not putting that in. Or if I put in onion, I might put in a quarter of what I see people put in. Because man, listen. But the weird thing is, it's a texture thing for me, so it's not a flavor thing for me. So when I grew onions, I dehydrated the tops, the scallion part of it, and I use that in almost all of my stuff, even that I eat, because it's just the texture of an actual onion that I don't like. So yeah. Yes, when you share out the stream, it's really good. Share out the stream, guys. Thank you, Lashes. Can it up. And let me tell you, first of all, if you ain't following TT's Urban Pantry, You better get over there because she has a full full list of different things that she has canned up. I mean, and she does a live canning every Saturday night, pretty much every Saturday night. Um, uh, she tonight, no, tonight it's not Saturday, today is Friday. So this Saturday, she is doing chili con carne. Is that how it's said? I don't know. Chili. She's doing chili. Last week we did pasta. No, she did tomatoes. I did pasta sauce. She did whole tomatoes. I did pasta sauce. But yes, she does it live every Saturday. A lot of times I'll pop up there with her and can as well. I might can exactly the same thing she does, or I might can something in the same family but different. Like she did tomatoes, I did pasta sauce last week. So yeah, join for that. She does it Saturday night at 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. So come check it out. It's a good time. Let's see. Might sound weird, but like corn relish with pinto beans, it does not. It does not sound weird. That does not sound weird to me. I love beans, and it's not very many beans that I don't like. Thank you, Yaya. She said she shared it out. Um, my wife has that texture thing with mushrooms. Mushrooms are the same for me too. If I eat mushrooms, I have to. Now, there has been one mushroom that I have found that I like because, like I said, I will do a lot of meatless meals. So I had saw where mushrooms were used as like a meat substitute, but not just your regular mushrooms. These were oyster mushrooms. Y'all, I love oyster. Those are probably the only mushrooms I like, and they are so good. The texture does not bother me. It does remind me of a little bit of having like some chicken or something in a dish. I will use oyster mushrooms for tacos. I'll use them in stir fries. Stop playing. Yeah, I love them. And the only thing is you can't find them everywhere. I know for sure, like somewhere like Whole Foods sells them. What don't they sell? But it's going to be like pricey. But we have a store in our city called Myers. If you have one in your city, then that might be a place you can find them. Myers is the only store I've seen in my city that carries it outside of Whole Foods, but they are really good. And you probably could find them in like if you have like an Asian market or something like that. I don't know. Don't quote me on that, but you might be able to. Definitely go visit TT Kingster Craft. You would love it. I'm telling you, she's the reason I'm canny. I did not used to can. This was the first year I did it. I came across her canning, and she said I went canning crazy because I just started. I just went right in. I'm not afraid of it. I'm considering you've already canned some things. I know the things that you mentioned. You said jams, pickles. All those are water baths. I think even the corn um, relish is water bath. Tell me if I'm wrong, but I think it is. Um, but some of the stuff we do is well, she does because like I said, I'll hop in. It's water bath, and then some is pressure can. So it's both. Yeah. Last week we did the tomatoes water bath. So she did tomatoes, I did the pasta sauce. They were both water bath. So yeah. But she has a full playlist of canning, and you name it, she's probably canned it. She's done the different kind of jams, and um I don't know if she's done the corn relish though, but maybe. I know she's done like the pickles and the salsa. Actually, the first thing I canned with her was salsa. That's the first thing I canned this year. And then we canned she did chicken soup, and I canned it the week after. I did beans with her, um, and the pasta sauce. I can't remember if we did our jam. If I did jam with her, she did jam as well. But she has a full playlist. That's just a little bit. Oh, we did the pot roast together, but that's just a little bit of what she's canned up. So definitely check her out. So I make them disappear in dishes. What's that? The onions? That's okay. I can live with that. If you can make them disappear, like seriously disappear, I can deal with the onions. Like I said, I like the flavor. It's just the texture. Um, yes, let's see. Onions and garlic all day. Garlic, yes, lashes. When I tell you I love garlic, I love it. It doesn't, like I said, I like the flavor of onions. It's not the flavor that I don't like, it's the texture. But with garlic, I love everything about it. It doesn't have a texture that I don't like. And the flavor is amazing. And I actually need to get my garlic. Matter of fact, I need to do that this weekend. I need to get my garlic in the ground because I'm going to grow some garlic. That's happening. That's a thing. But I love garlic. Yes, on the oyster mushrooms. Yes, y'all got you know about the oyster mushrooms. They are amazing. They are. I don't know if you like other mushrooms as well, but that is the only ones that I like. And they are so good. And it was actually, I don't know how many of you almost have to live under a rock not to at this point, but how many people know Tabitha Brown? That's when I first saw the oyster mushrooms. It was some years ago. She did a recipe with them, and I was like, oh, I'll try that. That sounds, it's because she makes everything look good. And I have tried many of the things that she's shown that she's made, and I have not been disappointed by one. I've tried the jackfruit. I've tried the scrambles, the breakfast scrambles she does, but she doesn't do it with any eggs or anything. She's done it with chickpeas and the vegan sausage and stuff. But I don't even think I used that. I think I just did a lot of vegetables and the chickpeas and stuff. It was so good. It was so good. So yes. Um, yeah, everybody's letting Kinster Crafts know when the live is for TT. What you say there? That is Psalms 146. They had them oyster mushrooms in the grow box. Oh, you're right. I didn't see them at Home Depot. I did see it was because there was a couple people on YouTube who had them. They were like this. It was like a small box that just would grow the mushrooms. I saw that. I need to go see if I could find me that because from what I understand, they grew pretty fast and they were really easy. But I did see those. Walmart had them, and I saw them there. Um, they were gone. I would try that because I did. Who am I thinking of on here? Who I saw with them? Um, in Dale Homestead. Somebody sent it to her, and I saw her growing them, and I was like, "That's the only mushrooms I like." And could you imagine having them fresh out of the garden? Child, please. That would be life. I thought from what you said you can that it was mostly water bath canning Kinster Craft. But you know what? Like I said, she has a little of both on her channel. She does both. So even if you just want to see what's on there, maybe that will, encourage you to try pressure canning as well as you go forward. Um, TT, she out here shopping at the grocery store. Um, no, it's not tonight, Teresa. It's tomorrow. Saturday night at 9 o'clock is when TT's Urban Garden does her canning live. Saturday night, 9 o'clock. And she's doing chili this week. And I don't have the recipe, by the way, TT. So I don't know if I'm doing chili. I wouldn't mind doing chili. That would be great. I need the recipe. Hint, hint. Um, yes, I figured it was. What pressure canner do you recommend? Okay. I don't think I have a recommendation because I just started canning, but I have two. And there's a reason behind it. So, and both of them are Presto Presto. I'm in my office, but I have my canners in here on shelves. Both of them are Presto. So what happened was when I bought my first canner, I got it off Amazon, and it's amazing. It's a great canner. Like I said, they're both Presto. However, it's a really big canner. It can do twice as many jars as the regular canner. It literally you stack. It has a has this thing that you could put between the first stack of jars to be able to stack in a whole nother set of jars on top to get more canned in the same amount of time. So the first time I used it, it just felt like it took forever to come up to pressure. Well, what I found out is it wasn't the canner that was the problem. The problem was that I was doing it on I have an electric stove, and I had to get used to figuring out where my canner needed to be sitting on the eye in order for that to heat the canner the way it needed to. I have figured that out finally. It took several tries between my big canner and then my regular size canner. So one is a 16 quart, I think. Let me know if that's right, Tia, because I have the same one you have. And then my bigger one, I don't know, it might be, it's not double that, but it's almost twice as much as that. I think it's like 28 quarts or something like that. Let's see if I have my books in here. Um, but yes, I have a Presto canner. One I got from Amazon. The smaller one that's 16 quarts, which actually still holds quite a bit. So don't think because it's less quarts, I can can up um 11 or 12 pint jars at a time, I think. And quart size jars, 7. I do know that's 7 because I canned up quarts recently. So I think I could do 7 quarts, maybe 10 pints, I forget. And then in my bigger one, I could do twice that amount. So I could do 14 quarts, and I can do 20 or whatever pints. So yeah, that's really the difference. And of course, the smaller one is more reasonable. I mean, the other one, I think on Amazon, the big one was 120 something. The one at Walmart was probably half that, almost. I think it was only like 60. It was no more than 70. So yeah. Um, Hey LP, how you doing? Hi Chocolate Drop, how are you? We are talking about what are we talking about? Meal prepping. Oh, it's in the description. I missed that, TT. I'll go check then. But we are talking about meal prepping. Yes, this one right here. Homestead Heart, highly recommended the Presto All American Canner. Okay, but you know what? I thought you was gonna say you highly recommend her because I do as well. I think she's really good at canning too. So definitely, you could definitely check her out as well. Now she does do some things that aren't necessarily approved through Ball or I guess the USDA for canning, but she does do some canning as well. So if you wanted to check her out, but yeah, so there's so many people on here. Like I said, TT has a great playlist of canning. Plus, you can catch her live canning and see it step by step for those who like to be able to, see that. And she doesn't just she has 2 cameras set up. So she has one set up to the stove so you can see everything that's happening there, and then she'll come back and talk to you. And it's a fun live. We have a lot of fun over there. But yes, I can't say that I have any to recommend because I am new to it. But I like the one I have. So yeah, I got my day mixed up. That's okay, Teresa. Did I miss anybody else coming in? Oh, what'd you say there? My home extension agent says not to place candles on. You can. I think you're supposed to check with the manufacturer to make sure that it's going to be okay. Mine is a glass top and it's just fine. I know what you mean though, because they say that it could crack it, but I think if you check with the manufacturer to see if it's going to be able to hold up to that weight, that's what you would need to do. Because I don't think that's for all glass tops, but I have heard that before. Um, Teresa says that the Asian markets have it all. I know I'm behind on the chat, y'all. I can tell. Meaning when we were talking about the oyster mushrooms. Hey, Lydia. Um, you definitely should. We have a good time over there at Kinster Craft. When we're over there canning. It's a good time. Um, what you talking about me? Best yet? What you talking about? But like I said, the seafood where? What you talking about, Teresa? Look, am I missing stuff? I did drop the link though if anybody wants to come up and talk about meal prepping, freezer meal prepping, or just meal prepping in particular. But I mostly do freezer meal prepping. I know, like Mike said, he does his weekly meal preps, which, and Vashette does that as well. She does a weekly meal prep for herself. Um, and I'm not good at going back in. Like I don't, I have to prep for the freezer because I've done the weekly meal prep, like where I say, oh, I'm gonna eat this stuff that I prep for the week for my lunches and my breakfast or whatever. I don't be sticking to it like that. I'm not very good. But so I don't even waste my time doing it for the most part. But I will do it for stuff for like sandwiches and stuff for my daughter or breakfast sandwiches for her because those things the breakfast sandwiches and the regular sandwiches you can freeze and then just bring them out and let them sit in the fridge and then they're good to go. But I'm adding quesadillas to my list because I had not even considered doing quesadillas and that would be so easy and just easy to warm up and go. Have you ever bought like those quick processed meals at the store where it's like the chicken quesadillas or the burritos and things like that? You can make that stuff yourself. Keep it in your own freezer and wrap it up in some plastic wrap and some aluminum foil. Put them all in a freezer bag. And then when you want them, take them out. You could warm them up from frozen, or you can let them sit in the fridge for overnight and have it to take with you to lunch the next day if you work or whatever. But I'm always trying to think of stuff like that to do because listen, I don't. I just sometimes some days I just don't feel like standing in the kitchen cooking. So it's always just a benefit to have, excuse me, those things ready. You can do pot pies. I've done those before. Freezer prep pot pie. You can just freezer prep the inside part for your pot pie. You can put your I use cream of celery for mine most times. So you can put your cream of celery and all your veggies and all that in a freezer bag. Have that just already mixed and ready, already mixed up. Your veggies are already going to be chopped up. You don't have to worry about doing any of that stuff. The day you want to make it, pull it out, put it in the fridge the night before. I use the ready-made pie crust, but even if you wanted to make your homemade pie crust, you can make those in advance. I used to make my own pizza crust in advance. I would make it and freeze it. And whenever we wanted pizza, I pull out the crust and build up our pizzas. Sometimes I would build them up and freeze them that way. So I would put all the toppings on it, wrap it up with some plastic wrap. Then I put aluminum foil over top of that, right on top of the foil, what type of pizza it is, stick it in the freezer. I actually have, and you won't be able to see it because of my my background, but I buy these. If you're like for bakers, they buy these rounds that they put the cakes on, and like so, if you've ever bought a cake from a bakery and when you cut it, it has that cardboard bottom. So You can get some places have the square ones, or I mean rectangle ones, or round ones. Well, you could get the round ones at Walmart or anywhere, and I put my pizza crust on there. So I put them on that, build it up with all the toppings, the sauce, the cheese, the veggies, the meats, all that, and then wrap it up, cover it with foil, write what type of pizza it is on there, stick it in my freezer. When we want pizza, guess what? I go and get my frozen pizza that I made out of my freezer and not a frozen pizza that I bought from the grocery store. And I don't pay as much money for it because for even for all the things that I mentioned, I'm going to get about I think the last time I did it had 6 pieces out of the amount of dough I made, and probably at the end of making 6 pizzas, and I'm talking about large size. Well, no, they were more medium, probably medium sized pizzas. Um, I'm gonna say the most expensive thing is the cheese, and I'm gonna say let's say $246 for cheese. So probably less than $20 or about $20 for 6 pizzas to put in my freezer. Yeah. So like a DiGiorno size pizza to put in my freezer. And those pizzas by themselves are what, 8, 9, $10 for one. Just saying. I love it. With shrimp, you could probably do anything with shrimp. My daughter does. I'm not a big seafood eater, but my daughter loves shrimp. So pretty much, if I was doing recipes with shrimp, I would like say for instance you want to do one of the easiest ones probably to do is like shrimp fajitas. I would do all my veggies and stuff because I do this with my chicken or beef ones. I chop up all my veggies, slice up all my veggies, my onions and peppers, or whatever you're going to put in your fajitas, and I put those in a small Ziploc bag, like the sandwich size ones. And then I put my meat in another sandwich size one, just because I don't want them all in there together. But you can have them in there together. That's just me. You could put it all in one freezer size bag, and then but what I would do is do that with shrimp, and then I usually will put my seasoning in with my veggies, and then a little bit in with my meat, and it's like swoosh it together so it's froze that way with the seasoning on it. And literally, when I'm ready to fix it, I dump all that on the cookie sheet, spread it out, put it in the oven, let that get cooked to my liking, and all you gotta do is take it off of there and put it on a tortilla, and you got dinner. Hi, Miss Shirley. How are you? Um, Definitely. Once you start freezer prepping, you are not going to stop. Um, I'm telling you because it's so convenient. I have to pop in the crock pot. Yes, yes, that's what I do. It's about having that convenience of having it and just being able to pop it in the crock pot before you leave for work, or pop it in the oven when you get home, and it's no muss, no fuss. You already did the work. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I usually take like a day to meal prep. So it can take me anywhere, and I only do one meat or one type of meat if I'm prepping. So if I'm doing chicken, all of the things I'm going to prep are going to be for chicken. And I'm going to get all my chicken prepped, how I'm going to be packaging it up. So if I'm going to do cut up in chunks, or cut up in like slices, like slivers for like fajitas, or just full pieces of chicken. I'm going to have all that ready. All my veggies chopped up that I'm going to use and stuff. Any sauces that I'm going to use. And then you get your freezer bags out, or your vacuum seal bags out, and you start building it up. Whatever that thing is going to be. Get it sealed up, put it in the freezer. It's that easy. So when you get ready to make it, you don't have to do nothing. I mean, maybe have a dish like she's doing this. Kenster Crafts is going to do the cilantro chicken recipe that I have on my channel, and it's pretty old, so you got to go back to find it. But she's doing that one. I think she said tomorrow, and you can do that one honestly with shrimp. You can do cilantro shrimp, but doing that, and then you might want to have it over rice or something. So that would be the only thing you would have to cook to finish the meal. You would have to make you some rice. That's, I mean, you could do minute rice. I mean, it's not that big of a deal. But yes, I would say for me, because like I said, I don't really do shrimp like that. But if I wanted to do some with shrimp, sheet pan meals are probably a really no-brainer with shrimp. Shrimp doesn't take that long to cook. So I wouldn't want to do anything crock pot with shrimp because it's gonna instantly overcook it because it doesn't take that long to cook anything with shrimp. But your sheet pan stuff, it doesn't have to be fajitas. You could do some broccoli and squash and onions and peppers and your shrimp and have it over rice. Get you some kind of sauce. Maybe do like a teriyaki or General Tso or sweet chili, or if you don't like the Asian sauces, maybe like an Italian. Do the Italian seasoning packets, not the Italian seasoning, but the kind of used for dressing. Use that and season your veggies and shrimp with that. Put it in the oven, cook that up, and have that over rice, or have it on the side of something. I would look at more of the sheet pan stuff, but you could still do prep with it, freezer prep, because you could prep whatever veggies you're going to have for that meal, for that type of meal with the shrimp. So if you know that, okay, I'm going to do this time with squash and some carrots and some broccoli or some whatever, onions and whatever, cut up all that stuff, put it in your freezer bag. Put your shrimp in your freezer bag. You can put it all in there together. You could pre-season it with your Italian seasoning. Shush it up. Freeze it that way. Then when you're ready to cook it, put it in the fridge the night before. When you get home from work, pour that all out on your cookie sheet. Throw it in the oven. Make your rice or whatever you're going to have with it while that's in the oven. Dinner. Most of the work is done. All you got to do is make the rice. I mean, like I said, you could do the minute rice. Like, yes, definitely. Let's see. What did I miss? I don't think I missed anything. But yes, so that's an easy one for shrimp. You could do salmon that way. You could just have a bunch of veggies cut up that you want to have with salmon. Put that in a freezer bag. With me, I probably would have my salmon in this like wrapped up separately. That's just me. And then put your salmon on your cookie sheet. Put all your veggies around it. Season it up however you want to. You can pre-season before you freeze it. It's going to be just fine. Throw it on that cookie sheet. Throw it in the oven. You could be doing everything else while your oven is doing the work. Just saying. Straightening up, getting the kids situated, making sure kids are doing what they're supposed to do, doing homework or whatever the situation is while food is cooking. And as that's wrapping up, dinner's coming out, everybody gets to eat. Without what, a rice cooker? Yes. My oldest is that way. She cannot do rice. She buys the ones that's in the packs that's already cooked that you just warm up for like a minute. I don't like them. But that's because I could cook rice. But I don't like them. I can see that, Kenster Craft. She said she never liked brown rice until she made it in a rice cooker. I can see that. I saw something about potatoes, which I absolutely love. Miss Shirley said mashed potatoes. But yes, you can prep mashed potatoes. I've actually prepped my own, and I have a video on that, how I prepped my own diced tomatoes. And you could do the same thing as French fries, homemade French fries, like where you slice up your own potatoes. And like sliced potatoes. You could do the same process with any type of way you would want to cut up your potatoes. and to where you can freeze them, like how you go to the grocery store, you buy a bag of shredded or diced tomatoes. Yeah, I have a video on how you can do that yourself to where your potatoes don't turn brown. They look just as white and pretty as the ones in the grocery store, and you've done it yourself. Yeah, there's a video. And I've done that before. I've prepped my own potatoes so that whenever I wanted potatoes, I didn't have to go to the grocery store and buy it. Because I like to put shredded potatoes and diced potatoes in my breakfast scrambles. So having that on hand is a plus for me. And we like fried potatoes, of course, and my family doesn't like mashed potatoes, but I do. Potatoes are my love language. So I like them pretty much. I can't think of a way that I don't like potatoes, just to be honest. Um, I like that rice. That rice is in the packets. I don't like it. Yes, that 90-second rice. My daughter, that's all she makes. I don't like it. Oh, I missed somebody. Hey, SMMJ's Garden. How are you? Can you link the potato video? Uh, Give me a second. Give me a second. Y'all listen. I didn't used to know how to link a video. We gonna hope that I get it right. So give me a second. But I can. Uh-oh. Why didn't it log me into my... Oh, it did. Okay, never mind. I'm like, why didn't it take me to my YouTube? And I do have playlists as well. So my playlist that has meal prepping, I believe. I'm about to tell you for sure. Darn it. It's trying to play the video. I don't want it to do that. Okay. Oh, that's why. Because I tapped on the playlist to go to the video. Y'all listen. Y'all gonna have to bear with me for a second. I'm gonna find it for you. I promise. I'm gonna do it the hard way because it seemed like me trying to go through my playlist was gonna take longer for me to find it. But it's been quite a way back that I did those. It's probably been 4 years or so that I did the potato one, but I'm about to find it for you. Sorry. Let's see. And like when I do my meatball prep, like the meatballs, I can do those in my when I'm ready to cook them. I can do them in my what am I thinking of? Uh-oh. Sorry guys. It's about to start playing my video. I accidentally tapped something. I could do that in my Instapot for like 5 minutes. And I can have meatball subs, or I can have spaghetti and meatballs, or whatever. Barbecue meatballs. And that is from raw. That's not even being like what was I trying to say? That is from raw. That's not being like cooked meatballs like you buy at the grocery store and dump into the thingy, into the that's the potato one that you dump into the crock pot. These are juicy, real meatballs, and they come out really nice and juicy. You just dump the raw meatballs in the Instapot with whatever sauce you're going to cook them in. Set it for 5 minutes. Let it depressure on its own. No muss, no fuss. And you already prepped the meatballs because remember we meal prepping. So yeah, that's all I'm saying. I love Aldi Psalms 146. I have never tried their minute rice though. but mainly because I don't care. Now, brown rice, I will say I don't make brown rice well. It always seems like it's hard. It never gets like a good texture to it. And I know it's probably going to be hardier than white rice, but no, ma'am. No, ma'am. um, oh, I found it, TT. I was looking for my potato, the link to my potato video. I think I did post it. I was like, I think I posted it. Um, oh, Lydia got it. I thought I posted. Oh, I did. We both did at the same time. Lydia, why didn't you tell me you had it? But yes, that video shows how to do your own potatoes. And like I said, it's a matter of you don't have to do all your prepping at the same time. I don't. When I do prepping, I usually do one type of meat one day and another type the other day. I might do a whole weekend, especially if I have a 3-day weekend. Like this is a 3-day weekend for me. Sometimes I'll do beef one day, chicken the next day, and just be done with both of those after that weekend. And when I tell y'all, I have videos to show you. Like if you go back into my playlist, um, where I showed like I would go and show you what was still in my freezer from meal preps and the things that I meal prepped. So for Crockpot and for just freezer meal prep. And it lasts for quite a while because like I said, those are my go-tos when I don't feel like having to cook the thing. So if I know it's no big deal if I cook up some ground beef. I'm just gonna cook up some ground beef. If I know I have time and I'm not really feeling like I don't feel like that. But if I usually know that morning, like this ain't gonna be the day. So we gonna use that cooked ground beef. I just do that. And I usually keep ground beef on hand like a lot. A lot because I get it at Costco. Um, and I'll just take like tonight, I'm probably gonna take out 3 packs of them because I get the package that they sell that has 1 pound rolls in it, and they're like 91.9, so it's 9% fat in it, and it gets they have 5 1 pound rolls in that pack, and I think I have like 4 of them down there, maybe 5, but I'll take out like 3 of them. So I'm going to process 15 pounds of ground beef in one way or another. So I'm going to come out with meatballs and um, meatloaf for sure, and I'll cook up some. And I'll do a video because I haven't done those videos in years. So I don't want people to always have to scroll back 4 or 5 years to find those videos. I'm going to do some updated ones because I do this every year. So yeah, I learned that from a chef. What did you learn from a chef, Mike? You got to soak brown rice 2 hours then. Oh, interesting. I didn't know that. My grandmother has done meal preps for me. Yep. And a lot of people do it when they're about to have a baby because just it's a lifesaver for a new mom because she's gonna be tired, or for somebody who's been in a hospital or not feeling well, like Miss Shirley said, like when she's under the weather. It's going to save time. We've done it for employees. Like when at my job, when we have an employee that something has happened out the ordinary. We had one of our employees who broke her elbow and had to have surgery. And her and her husband are a little up there in age, and we're like, we don't want her to have to worry about cooking. So we prepped some stuff for her. I mean, everybody is not comfortable with that with the people they work with. So that's another thing. But I mean, it might not be your coworkers, it might be your family members. So, but I keep some things prepped. I love to see a video. I will be doing that. I will do it. I'm planning on doing the video, recording it tomorrow. So, like I said, it's a 3-day weekend for me. So maybe I can get it edited and put up by Monday. So be looking for it. I am going to be doing that though, and I don't think don't have plans in my mind of doing chicken this week. I think I might wait until next week to do that, just to have kind of not a full busy weekend, just kind of have a little bit of chill because work has been stressing me, so I need some chill. Um, but I definitely am going to do the ground beef. So possibly chicken next weekend. And as I'm doing them, I will share. Like I said, I'm not a big seafood person, but I cook for my oldest. Like I said, she loves it, and shrimp is actually her favorite thing to eat. And I'm always giving her recipe ideas for her shrimp because she's like, I don't know what to do and what to make with it. And I'm like, the possibilities are endless. I'll share some. I'll share some. Maybe I'll prep some and just for her. And then that way I could just show it in video. But even though I'm not eating it, trust me, nothing I prep for her she does not like. She likes it all. And it'll give you some ideas. So I'll do that. I got a procedure coming up. Yep. Prep ahead. Yep. Nightbot's word is frugal for the link drop. Frugal, Miss Shirley. And that goes for everybody. I'm sorry because I forget that as I get talking, I'll think about it. If you want to drop your channel link in the comments, if you type in frugal, Frugal, it will drop your link. Nightbot will. And if you type joke, Joke, Nightbot will tell a joke because Nightbot thinks he's funny. So yes, make sure you do that. If you're a content creator on here, drop your link. We'll check you out. We'll see what you over there doing. So definitely do that. I went to tell her, but did it. But yes, that's how I do that sometimes too. Like that's a good way to tell them. Sometimes just seeing it. She said thanks, so I know she saw it. But yes, it's all good. It's all good. But yes. And Miss Shirley, she's over there putting out her content. She has a garden going on over there. She's an OG in these gardening streets and for real. So definitely check these guys out. Mike has a nice garden over there. Go check him out. Because one thing I like about Mike is that he gardens in two ways. He's not just a traditional gardener. He does the hydroponic gardening, and that was really new to me. I had never seen that before. So it's really cool to see how he's able to make that happen. But yeah, everybody in here pretty much has content. Uh-oh, why is he giving you an error? Error connecting to web proxy service. I think that's a Nightbot error. Psalms. I think. Because I don't know why there would be an error. Nightbot is on strike. I know that's right. No, Dad Joe. He better get with it. Show. No breaks tonight, Nightbot. But yes, definitely check these channels out. Tonight, oh, I don't know if I should say that. I'm your dropper. Thank you, Beshet. Tell us if you're going live tonight, because that's what I was like, I don't know if I should say that because I don't remember for sure if you're doing the show tonight. But Beshet Journey sometimes goes live on Friday nights with the Whoop Whoop Show. It's a fun time. We play games over there, and they have sullied my reputation by calling me a cheater over there. And then on Monday, she does. No. Tonight is not the Whoop Whoop. Tonight is Lydia's Got Game. I'm losing it. Tonight, Friday nights is Lydia's Got Game. And Monday is the Whoop Whoop Show. Sorry. That is Best Yet Journey. Lydia, drop your channel. Drop Frugal in the chat so that your channel will drop. That's Best Yet Journey. And we have fun over there too. I don't know for sure. That would be great, Miss Shirley. I don't know for sure if she's going live tonight. I know Psalms. And then she was mad at us because we couldn't get the answer. You didn't read it right. We was like, great. Who eating grape jello? Right. We be having fun over there though. It gets competitive, but it's fun. It's a good time. So I don't know what if she's going live tonight or not. And she might have popped in and out of the chat. She might be listening as she's doing other things as well. So if you're listening, Lydia, come and tell us if you're going live tonight with Lydia's Got Game, because that's a fun time. And like I said, even if she's not Monday night at 6, I believe. I'm pretty sure it's 6 o'clock on Mondays, and that's every Monday. I haven't known her not to go live for the Whoop Whoop show. Thank you, Mike. They be trying to sully my name over there. Um, but she goes live with the Whoop Whoop show where she has on someone in the YouTube community. It can be anyone. It could be she reaches out to different people in the YouTube community and she brings you on there just to talk and everyone get to know your channel a little more and get to know a little bit more about you and all those things. So yeah, it's a good time too because you get to learn about different people in the community, what their channel brings, what their intentions are with their channel, and just getting to know them a little bit more. So it's a good time, and I know she's booked, as she told me, till the end of the year. But I believe so because it's a good time. But yes, and you know what? She ain't drop her link. That means she done popped out. So I'm gonna reach out to her, see if I can send her a message to get on here and drop her link. And I hope you guys um, went to TT's Urban Garden to make sure you check out her canning videos because I'm telling you, good stuff. And it's not all candy. I think she has recipes and stuff over there as well. Um, so yeah, I'm sorry, guys. But yeah, so that's what I usually do when it comes to prepping. Like I said, I do the Crockpot meals and I do the regular freezer prep meals. So when I'm doing the ground beef stuff, I might prep up some lasagna in like the foil pans. And then I like to do like the ravioli lasagna as well. And because it's just me, my husband, and my youngest daughter now, my oldest daughter is grown and on her own. Sometimes I'll use like the loaf size pans that you can get at. It's not really a loaf pan; it's actually bigger than that, but that you could get at Sam's and Costco. The throwaway aluminum pans. The one that's shaped like a loaf, probably more like a bread loaf size pan. That's plenty for us, and we'll even have leftovers from a pan like that of lasagna or um, ravioli lasagna because I just build it up instead of out. So, but you can do either because I have the other pans as well. I buy both. I keep them on hand because I will make stuff up like that and freeze it, and then when I want to have it, all I have to do is pull it out the freezer the night before, let it sit in the fridge overnight, and then that night when I get home, pop it in the oven for like 30 minutes or so, however it might take. Are you having problems with notifications? I think you're talking about me getting notified when people are online. Yes, I don't get notifications pretty much for anyone, and I have it set up to get notifications. So, yeah, I definitely have problems with that. I have complained about that for over a month now, and it's getting even worse because somebody I just saw that was live for 3 hours today, I never got a notification that they were live. I found out because I just happened to get on YouTube to look at something on my own channel before I went live tonight and saw that they were live for 3 hours. And um, I was going to say, and I have that little bell press. Yep. It almost irritates me because it's like, is it intentional or is it just something within the system? Hey, Felicia. We have been talking about meal prepping, so freezer meal prepping. So freezer meal preps and for like mostly for dinners. So I will tell you guys that I mostly do my meal preps for dinners. Do I meal prep other stuff? Yes. Like I told you, I do some breakfast sandwiches. I might do the like Mike said for the smoothies. I don't do it for protein ones, but I do it for regular smoothies. I might prep those sandwiches sometimes. So I will prep other things, but the one thing I prep the most is dinner because that's the one time that after a full day of work, I just don't. Some days don't want to. I don't want to. So I will already have it there. I don't have to be stressed out about it. I just take it out the freezer, pop it in the oven, and go. Hey Tarsha, how you doing? Um, and I also was talking about Tarsha was talking about meal prepping, freezer meal prepping, like dinners, and I also was talking about crock pot freezer meals for dinner. Hey Bougie, y'all must have just got out of African Dreamers Live. I saw y'all up in there. I came in there for a little minute before I went live. I hate that. I was just telling Miss Shirley. She asked me, "Was I having problems with notifications?" I said, "Yep," because he was live for 3 hours by the time I got in there, and I did not know that he was live at all. I just happened to get on YouTube to look at something on my own channel, and that's when I saw he was live. It irritates my soul. I don't get notifications for most of you guys when you are live. That's how I miss so many lives, and that makes me mad. But yeah, guys, I was talking about meal prepping, freezer meal preps, and crock pot freezer meal preps. I am going to be doing a video. I hopefully you can get it out by Monday. I'm going to be filming tomorrow, prepping. I'm going to be doing beef. So I'll be mostly doing ground beef, but I'll also have like some steak and stuff for fajitas. So I will video that, but I will show how I prep that stuff so that I don't have to worry about it when it comes, days that I just don't feel like cooking. I already have the food prepped. I just either have to, if it's a freezer meal like lasagna or pot pie or whatever, I just have to take it out. I take it and put it in the fridge the night before. When I get home from work, it's already taking most of the freeze off of it. And I just can pop it in the oven and have dinner in 30 to 40 minutes. I don't have to stand in the kitchen and just put it in the oven. And with the Crockpot freezer meals, I will put those in the fridge the night before. And then in the morning before I leave for work, I'll dump it into the crock pot. So everything that's going to be in that meal, I mean, some stuff that, just that you don't have to worry about. You don't have to worry about cutting up any veggies or anything like that because you've already taken a day, like I'm going to do tomorrow, chopped up all that stuff, dumped it into a freezer bag with everything that you're going to cook in that meal, toss it in the freezer. When I have to toss it in the crock pot, shake, shake, shake the bag into the crock pot, turn it on, go to work, come home, dinner's ready. Maybe it's something that I got to put rice with or something, and I have to make some rice. That ain't nothing. But I don't have to worry about cooking the meat, chopping up veggies, none of that stuff, because I took a day out of my life in late summer to do that so that in the fall and the winter, when I don't feel like cooking those days, I could just, do that. My oldest wants to go. See, Psalms, this is why you got to meal prep. See you later. Thanks for staying in, to coming in and checking me out. But that's why I meal prep. So I ain't got to make no runs to McDonald's and Wendy's and Taco Bell, whatever. Even the high end restaurants. I don't have to make no runs to any of that. I will have fast food at home. Um, yes, that's right, Kenster Crafts. You're not gonna get no fast food or pizza if because that's why I prep stuff like that. I prep pizza. Um, Even if I just do the crust, I'll have that and I just have to build it up. But sometimes, like I said, I'll build the whole pizza up and freeze it. And that way, when we want to have a pizza, they're already prepped. I just have to pull a pizza out of the freezer. What, 20 minutes, 25 minutes? You got pizza? No, and I don't have to pay $20 for the same pizza that I made for maybe two. No, ma'am. They are super expensive. The restaurants are super expensive. Thank you, TT. TT's Urban Garden just dropped the best shits link in the chat, so um, you could go ahead and check out her channel as well. That part, Miss Shirley. That part. My everything tastes better. My husband even thinks that that's why we like I had already been a person who cooked all the time. Even before I met him, I cooked all my meals for when it was just me and my oldest daughter. And when me and my husband got together, he saw that I cooked all the time, even then. And then sometimes I'd be like, "Wait, do you want to eat out?" Because I know people like to go out to eat. It's like, actually, I like the food you make better. If you would make blah blah blah, you know. So yeah, every now and again we want to eat out, but nope. I like mine better. Like my stir fries, I like that better. I know I'm eating chicken or beef or whatever. I hate when I go places and the meat just don't quite look quite like what I think it should when I go. I be having trust issues, big trust issues. So yeah, what did you say? Yes, I missed some as well. I wanted to be. Yes, you talking about the notifications. Yes, they be all over the place. Like I just don't be getting it. And you know what? I like my crust thin for pizzas. I don't know if any of you know about this, but the Dollar Tree sells this thin crust. It's just a crust. Well, it's the $1.25 tree now, but even for that, and it's like a medium sized crust, and they have a package that has the small crust, and you get two of those in a package, or you could get one medium sized crust. I don't think that's a bad deal. But like I said, I've made my own. I just buy a packet of yeast, and you get 3 to 4 packs squares in a packet of yeast. You're only gonna use some of one, but it depends on how many crusts you're gonna make. But even if you use a whole one, I mean, you pay $1 something for 4 packets of yeast, and then you're just gonna use some flour, salt, and sugar, and you're making crust. And I think it's just water to bind it. I can't remember because I haven't made it since last year. So I'll be reading the packet. I have to see how to do it. But yeah, um, that's what I'm talking about, TT. Week 2 of no DoorDash. But you know what? It was exhausting because you didn't have no meal prep. We're going to work on that. Because you got the canning, but we're going to get you on meal prep too. But I know you're going to be working on it. We talked about it. Urban mystery meat. That's why we having trust issues. So I made stir fry tonight for my husband. I just used some peppers that I had harvested from the garden. I had some already frozen in the freezer, and then I harvested the purple one, so I wanted to add some of the purple bell pepper to it. And I put some onion, mushrooms, and that might be all in it. And then I had some ground beef that I had cooked up, and I used the ground beef as the meat for the stir fry. Sometimes I use chicken, sometimes I use steak, but whatever. Or you can use shrimp. I've used shrimp for stir fries before. Um, and then I take the ramen noodle, just the noodle, not the seasoning, and I cook it to not to where it's all the way done, just almost done, because I'm going to throw it in the stir fry and it's going to cook in there. And then I just season it all up good, and I add a little soy sauce and whatever sauce I want to add, and voila, he has a stir fry. And he likes them. So, and like I said, I switch up the meats with it. I can do it with any meat. So yeah, that's what we had tonight, and I know what's in it. I know what's in it. So I'm all about that. Let's see. But yeah, so I just was talking about that, and I did drop the link if anybody wants to come up and talk about meal prepping, or if you have any, anything you could share about meal prepping, more on the side of freezer meal prepping, because I like to do it like late summer, because in the fall and the winter are the times when I least sometimes want to cook. But most times it's just more chaotic. It's just more chaotic. If it's not just work is more chaotic, traffic is more chaotic, the weather is more chaotic, like all the things. And sometimes I just don't feel like having to worry about cooking. And if I know I have something prepped, I'll be like, you know what, we have it today? Yeah. Or I'll be thinking a day before. That's one thing I am going to get back to is my meal planning, because what I used to do is plan ahead, and I would already know like, okay, on Tuesday I'm going to just pull out. On Tuesday night I'm going to pull out lasagna, put it in the fridge. We're going to have lasagna on Wednesday, even though Wednesday is wing night at my house. I make wings every Wednesday in my house because my husband likes wings. So we have made Wednesday wing night. So every Wednesday we have wings. But I can have lasagna, whatever. Or I can have pot pie, whatever. I mean, if you already have all the stuff built up in your pot pie, you have your everything built up and you just covered it with your plastic wrap and your aluminum foil. You just gonna write on top of it, this is a beef pot pie, this is a chicken pot pie, this is a veggie pot pie. Put it in your freezer, and guess what? When you go in the freezer trying to figure out what you're gonna eat, you done forgot you made that pot pie. You like, oh, I got this pot pie. I ain't got to put nothing together. I ain't got to chop up no vegetables. I ain't got to stir nothing. All I got to do is unwrap this thing and stick it in the oven. I'm telling y'all. I'm telling y'all. But I am about 30-minute meals as well. I don't do, usually the only time I do my meals that will take me longer than that is the weekend and Wednesday. Wing night does take more than 30 minutes. Um, nope. No, I haven't, TT. Lydia brought it up when she had me on the Whoop Whoop show, because she saw it in my playlist. She was like, yeah, I saw what you talk about Wing Wednesday. Because I was showing my meal plan. That was back when I was meal planning. And yeah, I think Wednesday was his day off that he didn't work. So, and at that time he was working third shift. So it didn't, because I knew it was going to take more than 30 minutes to cook on weeknight. That's why Wednesdays ended up being weeknight, because I didn't have to cook something that would make sure he could get out the house in a good amount of time to get to work. He didn't have to go to work. So it's still weeknight to this day, Wednesdays. And I do them different. Sometimes I do barbecue wings. Sometimes I do fried wings. And I don't fry them like traditional. I use an air fryer. I've been using an air fryer now for 3 or 4 years. So I will fry them in the air fryer, or toss them in some kind of sauce, whatever. But it's wing night in my house. I haven't been hiding it though. So yeah. But even with something like that, if you want to take your wings and season them and freeze them seasoned, then when you pull them out, like if you're gonna do like a dry rub on them and put them in the air fryer like that, like lemon pepper or something like that. No muss, no fuss. I mean, that's not really a hard thing to do after you pull the wings out, but it's just one less thing you will have to do. So I'm here for it. I'm here for freezer meal prep. I do it all the time this time of year. And like I said, I do pizza doughs. I do, like I said, Popeye, lasagna. I think I've done spaghetti or so before, but that's not one I waste my time doing. I usually try to do ones that are a little bit more time in prepping or putting together, because you're going to have different vegetables in it, and your sauces and the meat and just all the components to it. I usually try to do that. And even when it comes to Crockpot Meals, I love Mississippi pot roast. So I will put a roast in a freezer bag with the pepperoncinis and the au jus and all that stuff, so that when I'm ready to make it, I don't even have to pull anything out of packages. All I have to do is dump what's in that freezer bag in my crock pot, put the lid on it, turn it on, go to work, come home, and the pot roast is done. And I do it with chicken too. I like the Mississippi chicken too. Yes. And I have a video on that if you're wondering what that is. But I think a lot of people make that now. But even if it's just regular pot roast, and you're going to have the carrots and the celery and the onion, Do all that now. Put it in the freezer bag. Then you ain't got to chop up onions and celery and peppers the day you want to make it. Everything's in there. Garlic, all your seasoning. Then the day you make it, you just dump it. All that stuff that's in the bag in your crock pot. Everything's there. You ain't got to get nothing. You ain't got to decide that, oh, I got a taste for pot roast. And then you go to make it because you thought you had everything you wanted to put in it. And you find out oh, that's right. I used my last onion last week. I don't have no onions. You ain't got to worry about that because it's already in the bag. I'm just saying. I'm glad, Kingster Crab. I'm glad you like it. I'm gonna listen. This is the time to do it, and it'll get you through the fall and the winter. It will. Pop in real quick. Hey, Brooke. Gotta go interview someone. I love you. Bye, bye, baby. That's my cousin. There are other things. Meal easier. Pre-minced chopped veggies. I do that. I do that now. Even yes, parsley, peppers, onions. I do it with everything. I have bay leaves in my freezer. Like if I buy them, and because I haven't grown bay leaves, but if I did, I would harvest them and freeze them. That way, I would always have them to be. I would dry them, of course, and then I freeze them and have them to be able to put into dishes. But I do that with like the celery, the leafy part of my celery. I chop those off and I put those in a freezer bag. And I use those when I'm making like my Thanksgiving meal. I will stuff my turkey with that. Also with celery too, though. I like to use celery. But yes, I will use those. I mean, there's a lot of good flavor there. Um, I'm trying to think of any other herbs I've frozen. I mean, you could freeze any of them, I guess, but I'm trying to think of ones that I have. I keep peppers, like bell peppers, all colors. I keep them sliced and chopped as much as I can. This year, I went OD in the amount of peppers I had in my garden because I want enough peppers to get me through until I do my next garden next year in the spring because I use a lot of them and I don't want to buy them at the store for $1 a pop. Period. I mean, have you guys seen? And that's the green ones. Don't try to get the colored ones, the orange, red, or yellow ones. The price of these vegetables is ridiculous. So I'm hoping that I end up with enough peppers to get me through the year, and I hope that the onions I have are enough to get me through until I grow again next season. Hey, David. So that's what I'm hoping for. David, we talking about meal prepping. We talking about freezer meal prepping and stuff for the fall and the winter. And I will be doing some videos here soon when I do my preps, just to share what I do to just make life a little bit easier for me when I get home from work and I need to make dinner. I'm telling you, it ain't nothing like it. And there's a lot of videos in my playlist from when I was doing it, but I'm going to do some now because, like I said, most of those videos are 4 to 5 years old. So I am going to get some new ones out there. Pre-soaked beans and put them in the freezer. I've never done that, but what I have done is actually cook them. I've done, like, I have some smoked turkey in there right now, and I plan on doing some red beans with smoked turkey, and I will freeze the extra. I've actually done that with my chili before. I've cooked it and froze it. And so whenever I want to have it, I'll just dump that and just kind of reheat it in the crock pot because chili is, to me, one of those things that just gets better and better with time. So yeah. Fresno peppers here are over $2. Yes. And I did hot peppers too, but if I didn't have hot peppers, it wouldn't make or break anything. But those bell peppers is life for me. I love bell peppers. So yeah, and I cook with onion. So, yep. David's in here speaking to everybody. Yep. And if y'all not following David, he got a channel as well. David, if you put frugal in the chat, it will drop your link. And for anybody who came in late, I know Bougie came in and Urban. If you drop frugal in the chat, it will drop your channel links because they all have channels. Bougie does a lot of prepping content, and hers is not so much as just on meals. Definitely check out that prep. She be giving the stuff they be dropping in these um, videos. I don't even think about prepping wise. So prepping is not only about food. This live has just been about that. It's just been about prepping for just meals to have. Um, for the fall and winter, just to make your life a little bit easier. But you can be prepping in so many different aspects of your life. So prepping can be a lot of things. Um, you spelled it right, David. You're so crazy. Ah, I cannot. Hi, Debbie lives in an old school house. I like that name. Um, Teresa didn't know you could do that. Do what? What we talking about? Oh, you're talking about what she said with the beans, Felicia. Um, yeah, but I will cook them and freeze them. I cook a lot of different kind of beans and freeze them. The only kind of beans I don't like is the baked beans. I don't like sweet beans like that. But that's just me. But the other ones, white beans, black beans, red beans, I like them all. I like them all. For frugal, is Debbie trying to do the link drop? It's Frugal, frugal. Um, but I didn't know that if you're having tomatoes that if you're having tomatoes that are going to soft, I freeze them. Then when I'm ready to use them in a meal, you don't. I don't even. Well, you know what? I guess that would be necessary if you're taking them right from the freezer. But I just let them sit in the sit out for a while because I put them in a freezer bag and freeze them. That's what I've been doing because my garden has produced so many tomatoes. I mean, it produced an abundance of tomatoes, and sometimes you don't harvest them all at the same time. Like right now, I have this screen on, but behind me in my windowsill is tomatoes that are ripening. So as they ripen, I just keep throwing them in the freezer bag. But if I just sit it out when I'm ready to use them and let them start thawing, once they start to thaw, all I have to do is kind of tear the skin some and I peel it right off. So yeah, I do that as well, Teresa. I freeze them. I freeze them before I can them. I freeze them and then I'll once I peel the skin off, I'll throw them in a pot and let them reduce and get really cooked up. And then I'll add my seasonings to it. I'll put my immersion blender in there and blend it up and can it up as my tomato sauce, my pasta sauce. So yeah, um, I will definitely do that, and it works out just fine. Going to water pots, but we'll be listening. Okay, thank you, Miss Shirley. Um, so yeah, and I've been on here for quite a while, guys, but I just wanted to talk about meal prepping and the freezer meal prepping because sometimes we don't think about that, but it can be, time such time savers, and that's what I'm about. Like sometimes it's just saving time and having time to do something more that I really want to be doing rather than just cooking all the time. But I do enjoy cooking. I'm not going to act like I don't. I do enjoy cooking, but I do also. Um, I'm gonna have to check your channel out, Debbie. Um, I also like to have options for days I don't want to, because some days I just don't. And like I said at the beginning, as women, sometimes we have like a week that we don't every month. So sometimes it's like that for me. Like I have several days of a week that I'm like, I don't want to do it. I just don't want to cook. But I also don't be wanting to eat out. So if I have something prepped, I don't feel like I'm cooking because all I have to do is take it from there to the crock pot or from there to the oven. And it could be something simple as fajitas, or it could be something, excuse me, at that point, as simple as lasagna because it's simple because I've already done the work. So all I'm doing is dumping everything in the oven. If it's fajitas, you could dump all your ingredients to a fajita. May it be chicken, steak, shrimp on a cookie sheet, put in your oven, let it get good and done to your liking. And all you gotta do is then put it onto your tortillas with some toppings or not. Just eat it like that. It's up to you. The world is your oyster. But guess what? You've already sliced up that meat to how you like it, and it's been froze that way. So when you thaw it, it's already like you want it. You don't have to pull out no knife or anything. Your veggies are already sliced up. You done already put all that into the bag. And you could take it a step further and season it all and zhuzh it up in there. Because I say that because I want seasoning over everything. So I take those freezer bags and I kind of take my hands and zhuzh it all around and make sure that seasoning get all over everything. Let all the air out your freezer bag, zip it up, write on your bag what it is and the date you put it in there, and stick it in your freezer. Tell you, time saver. Um, yes. What is pantry meals? Tell us more. I don't know if I do pantry meals. Tell us more. What is that? Let me take this off. See, it's not blocking my face. 1 second, y'all. Okay. But yeah, I don't know if I do any pantry meals, but I definitely do freezer meals, and I do crockpot freezer meals and regular freezer meals. I make freezer meals, freezer meals. I'm always looking for new ideas. Absolutely, that's me too. So tomorrow I'm going to be doing beef. So like I said, I'll be doing different variations of it. So I know for sure I'm doing some meatballs and some meatloaf because I like to have a meatloaf already, my veggies already in it. It's already seasoned the way I like to have it, breadcrumbs, everything. All that's been done, egg, everything mixed up, shaped, and then I freeze it like that. I freeze it, shape the way, the size, and everything that I want it. I wrap it as plastic wrap. Then I wrap that in foil. I write on it what it is and the date I made it. Stick that into a freezer bag, and I usually can fit two of them in there. And then I zip it up, put it in the freezer. And when I'm ready to make meatloaf, all I gotta do is take it down the night before, put it in the fridge, and when I'm ready to put it in the oven the next day, all I gotta do is unwrap everything, put that on my pan, and stick it in the oven. I ain't gotta prep a meatloaf. I ain't gotta get my hands dirty. I ain't gotta do nothing. I did that. I did that on prep day. And I love it. And I do the same thing with meatballs. Season it up, get them ready, ball them up. I lay them out on parchment paper on a cookie sheet, put that in the freezer so they can get solid. Kind of, they don't have to be completely frozen, but you want them at least almost completely frozen because when you freeze them, you don't want them to stick together. So if you let them freeze a little bit, at least on the outside, where the outside is completely frozen, you can just drop them into a freezer bag, zip it up, and then when you want meatballs, you just take out what you want because they're not going to be stuck together. Yes, and I do that as well. So, and I use those meatballs for everything. Meatball subs, just some barbecue meatballs, um, spaghetti and meatballs, whatever, Swedish meatballs, whatever your heart desires, whatever you like. But yes, and I don't top my meatloaf when I freeze it. I do that when I'm ready to bake it. So I do everything to it to freeze it. It's already ready, but I do the ketchup and whatever topping when I bake it, and I do that after the fact. And I was telling someone in the beginning with cheese, if you know you want, like you're making something like, say for instance, with lasagna, a lot of times you want your top to be cheese, the cheese layer. You can do all your layers to your lasagna. Don't do that top cheese layer. Leave that as just your sauce layer or your meat sauce or whatever you have. And then when you're ready to bake it, do your cheese then. That way your cheese doesn't get like a funky little texture to it before you bake it. Kind of like the stuff you get in the grocery store that's already, packaged up. How it's just kind of different. Just wait till you're about to bake it to put the cheese on it. That ain't gonna hurt nothing. Won't hurt nothing at all. Um, Thank you, Teresa. um, I heard you can prep jalapeno poppers. You sure can. I've done that. Uh-huh. I've done that. And I've done it before where you wrap it in bacon. So you bake the poppers and then you wrap that in bacon. I've done that too. And I did one where it was um I'm trying to remember because it's been a while since I did it, but it had chicken as well. So I can't remember. I think you wrapped the popper in chicken, like a chicken. You took a chicken breast, a thin cut chicken breast, and you kind of pound it out even more to make sure it's good and thin. And then you wrap that around the popper, and then you wrapped bacon around that, and then you brushed it with barbecue sauce. I saw that on Pinterest or something, but it was good. I'm not gonna lie, it was very good. It really was. Um, but yes, you can definitely do that with jalapeno poppers. You can prep them and freeze them. You buy them. Anything you could buy at the grocery store. They ain't doing nothing innovative. They just did it for you. You could do exactly what they do. Just like with your potato skins or whatever else, you could do all those things that they do for yourself. They just doing it for you. And guess what? They charging you to do it for you. When you could do it for yourself for half the cost, if not more than half the cost. Mm-mm. It's a sauce with ketchup base. True. Gardening. My sister put ketchup and stuff on meatloaf. I use ketchup sometimes. Sometimes I use it. I'll mix it with some barbecue sauce. Sometimes I'll do a gravy sauce. It just depends. But mostly probably ketchup. Ketchup is to me, because that's how I grew up having meatloaf. That's how my mom did it. Seems traditional. It may not be the traditional way to make it, but for me it is because that's how my mama made it. With spaghetti on it. I mean spaghetti, pasta sauce. I mean ketchup. Lord Jesus, ketchup on it. But you probably could do it with pasta sauce as well. Just saying, because it'd probably be just as good. Like a Italian meatball, but it'd be meatloaf. I mean, it had a flavor, I should say. So yeah. Um, but yeah, guys. So I'm gonna wrap this up. Like I said, I did drop the link. If I pinned the link, actually, I didn't drop it. I pinned the link in case anybody wanted to come up and talk about prepping. But I think I have said as much as I can about it. Like I said, I am going to I'll be your sister and Mike are eating dry hamburgers. Um, I will be doing a video tomorrow as I'm prepping the different beef freezer preps. So some of it is going to be just freezer meals preps, and some of it is going to be crockpot meal. Actually, yes, it is going to be some crock. I was going to say actually it won't, but yes, it will. There will be some crockpot meal preps. And next week, I think I might do preps with chicken. So, yeah, and I might throw in there in between the two some preps with some seafood. So maybe I know for sure we will eat salmon. My husband and daughter will eat shrimp, but I don't like shrimp. But I might do some preps with shrimp because they eat it. So I can't be selfish. They'll eat it. I just don't like it. But I do like salmon. So you could prep that up too. Like to do a sheet pan dinner with shrimp or salmon. You could do stir fries with the shrimp. So yeah, have your veggies all chopped up and froze together with the protein. And then when you're ready to cook it, you got everything. You ain't got to say, "Oh, I got to go to the store to get this," or "I got to," because you done prepped it. Everything's already there. Just saying. Wait till y'all see these videos. Y'all gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I need to do that." That's gonna make life easier. And I ain't gonna lie, like I said, the day I do it, so tomorrow I will be doing that. It'll probably take maybe 3.5 hours out of my day for me to get it, depending on how many meals I prep up. And typically, I probably will end up with maybe 20 or maybe a little bit more meals for beef, just the beef stuff. So, and I'll let you know in the video how many we ended up with. So, yeah. All right, guys. So, does anybody have any questions or anything they want to share? Mike, I threw an egg the other day. Did I miss something, David? You got a video out there that's something's going on in your yard? Did I miss something? Or is Mike got something in his yard? What did I miss? Felicia, I'm making you hungry. You're so crazy. A squirrel, David. I'm just throwing eggs. Ah, don't say that, David. We the winter time is like hibernation. So we gotta, bears, they store away no, they don't, they sleep, don't they? Well, the other creatures probably store away some food. The squirrels do, because they stay up in my garden. I found a cucumber, one of my lemon cucumbers yesterday that they had ate on. They didn't even eat the whole thing. They don't never eat the whole thing of anything. Yeah, but they had eaten on it. Hey, G Mama, how you doing? We were talking about meal prepping. I'm about to wrap it up though. We were talking about freezer meal prep and meal prepping. Something I do typically for the fall and winter because, child, listen, I don't always be wanting to cook. I be tired. I just be tired with everything. I be tired because everybody done got on my nerves, the job, the traffic, the weather, everything. And I'm like, you know what? I don't feel like it. So I'm gonna share what I do to get through that. What I do to make things easier. Mike set up a camera and caught a squirrel stealing. Oh, I did see that. I did see that. I did see that. It's funny because he be commentating too as what's happening when we watching to see what's going on with what's in his yard. Yes, hilarious. Um, but I did see that the squirrel. These squirrels, well, these animals are just. And I know people be like, but they gotta eat too. Well, what was they eating before I had a garden? Because that's what I need them to go back and eat. I need them to eat whatever they were eating before I got a garden. How about that? Because I didn't get this garden to feed them. I ain't trying to be selfish, but I'm just saying. I didn't do that. This wasn't a community garden. Because you know what the squirrels didn't do? They didn't help me fill those beds. They didn't help me plant those seeds. They didn't help me water anything. They didn't help me trim up the stuff when it gets wild. They didn't help with none of that. But they want to come help me harvest. No. No. Am I being petty? I don't feel like I'm being petty. I'm just saying. I mean, are y'all gonna do the kids just get to do nothing and reap all the benefits? No, they gotta help too. So the squirrels, if they out there helping, then I might not get so upset when they come and try to get a tomato or a cucumber, because I'd be like, well, you did help, so it's only fair. Look, Urban, I'm telling you, they need to go on back to wherever they was eating at before my garden came, because they don't be helping do nothing. But they want to come over here and harvest, coming over with their little hands, eating up stuff. Right, Felicia. No help, no harvest. I'm getting a t-shirt. I'm gonna get a look. I'm gonna pick it in my yard. No help, no harvest. No help. Facts though. I mean, I be mad. I'm laughing now, but I'm gonna tell y'all, I ain't gonna listen. I be mad. I be mad. Now if it's just like an item or two, but when I tell y'all, I had 17 ears of corn in my garden, and I ended up with 3 because them suckers went to town on that corn. No, I was not happy about that at all. So that's right, Felicia. Then people want to look at you sideways. I told you how. I don't know if you were there when we were in Humble Stores when I brought that up, but You wouldn't believe I put salt on a dang on snail. The type of messages I got for doing that, I was like, it's a snail, people. I ain't even done nothing like ruthless. It's a snail. It's like you could have just relocated. I was like, y'all don't know me and bugs. That's one thing. I am not a relocator. That's not in my ministry. I halfway don't kill them. Depends on what they are. I do feed the birds, G Mama. I have a bird feeder in the front of the house, and I did that intentionally to hope to get the squirrels to go to the front of the house and stay out the backyard. But and I think that helped a little bit because they stopped really getting my stuff as bad. Chipmunks think I'm improving. They found tomato plants. Listen, I had what I thought was a cute chipmunk. I was telling one of my coworkers about it, and he was like, "Chipmunk?" He was like, "What did it look like?" I said, "It was cute." I said, "It was a little baby one too, and it was brown and da da." And he's like, "You mean a ground squirrel?" I said, "What is a ground squirrel?" So I googled the ground squirrel, y'all. I let me tell you, I was thinking this thing was so cute because I thought it was a chipmunk. I was putting water out for it. I put a little thing out with water because it looked like a little bitty baby. It was little, and I was like, I wanted it to be okay. It was just a little creature. I wasn't doing nothing but feeding the ground squirrel. Y'all listen. I didn't know, David. I seriously did not know. I was so mad when I found that out. I was like, "You better not show his face around here again." I was so mad. I had been feeding, I mean, not feeding it, but giving it water. And I probably would have gave it some food. I'm telling you. But yes, they will get you. I don't have it that bad this year, but I know it's coming. What did you say? I missed that Psalms. These critters are like the story in the little red hand. Yes. I'm telling you, they don't be doing nothing but eating stuff and terrorizing your garden. Sometimes they don't even eat stuff. In the front of my house I have like planters with two of them I had lilies in, so of course they're dead and gone. But I could see like this area where you could tell it had dug something had dug in it. I was like, them damn gone squirrels. Why are they in this planter? It's not even no there probably was burying something in there, but I don't know what because I don't have no seeds in my garden right now. So it ain't like they dug up a seed and brought it into the front. But last year they did. I found cucumbers all in my front within the what is that stuff called? I have the mulch in the front of the house. Like, you know how you kind of I have like this fencing and mulch and making it all cute, you know. Anyway, I found all kind of cucumber plants coming up in there sporadically in places. So either they took the cucumber and was eating it and seeds got all in the yeah, I'm over it. There's no telling what's going to come up next year in my garden from them eating stuff because I found tomatoes. I just found a cucumber for the first time. So that was the first time I found that, but there's no telling. I can see where they're scratching on my watermelon, and that's where I draw the line. Because y'all don't know, y'all know the ones of y'all that have been following me for a while. Y'all know how serious I am about these watermelon because I didn't think I could grow them. And now that I am growing watermelon, I've actually harvested three. The first one I harvested was too early. The second two were perfect. And then I have a huge one out there that's probably about 20 pounds or more. It's the only one that got big. All the rest of them have been kind of smaller. Like maybe the sugar babies were probably like 10 pounds. But this is the only big boy out there. And I'm like, it's nowhere near ready, I don't think. As far as that tendril is not even looking like it's starting to dry. And I'm like, please don't let these things get my watermelon. Because when I tell you, they might put me in jail for the things that I might do over this watermelon. What? I found an invasive jumping worm 2 years. What the heck is? I don't even want to know. Didn't know better, so I threw it. Mm-mm. Mm-mm. I bet you don't let nobody in there now. Even the good bugs, you be like, I gotta be sure. Can't be too sure now. I ain't never heard of a jumping worm. Child, that would have never made it to my garden though. Mm-mm. I know it's probably something that they don't put in my pot, Teresa. I knew that when I saw that they had been digging bread rolls. They ain't got no bread coming in my yard. So, but you know what? I told you I have a bird feeder in the front of the house. The one thing the birds pick out that they don't eat right away, they come back and get it after they empty the feeder. They don't like the corn. They get the sunflower seeds, the nuts, there's some kind of a little seedy looking thing in there. I don't know what those are. Those might be sunflowers as well. I don't know. And I don't think they're sunflowers. But anyway, they eat everything else. And I always see corn underneath where it's at because that's also mulch, that area. So the mulch is black. And I see these yellow corn kernels all over there. And then usually after a couple days after they've emptied their feeder, that I start seeing them coming back in the yard and getting those. But I know that that's their least favorite thing. And so I'm wondering if the squirrels are also getting them because they like corn. So yeah, I had extra onions. Yes. I will say I do. I have heard people say both ways with the onions and the garlic. I think it helped me. I had probably three worms that I found in my tomato bed when they were really, really, really tiny, and I pulled them off because if I could catch them really tiny, I could deal with them. And I mean, they were really tiny, so I pulled them off, put them in soapy water. I found one adult size one, and I call it that because it was big. It was the bigger ones, and it had. Oh, my hornworms always have the white thingies coming out their back, which is when the wasp has laid their eggs in it. Why? Oh my God, they freak me out. So I found one of those this year. That's it. I never found any other hornworms in my garden. Last year, I didn't know anything about planting something around it, and I did all my garden stuff in pots on my patio. And them hornworms was in it to win it. And every time I saw one, it was after it got big because I didn't know to look for them when they were little. But I think that it helped. I had onions, I had garlic, I had basil, I had pineapple sage, I had peppermint. I had all kind of things out there around my beds, and I think that helped. I think that helped keep the bugs confused. Not the squirrels and stuff, girl. Bye. They was not confused. Snake worms, no ma'am. Crazy worms because how they move. Nope. Mm-mm. Nope. Mm-mm. No ma'am. Where are you at, LP? What state is this? What state are you in? Squirrel stayed out of my garden until I pulled my onions. Yeah. And you know what? Nothing mess with the onions. Doesn't there? Not that I want it to be, but is there nothing that likes onions? When I tell you nothing messed with my onions, nothing. No bug penetration. No squirrels. No nothing. They don't want it. See, I'm not the only person who don't like onions. One worm. No, 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 no. Next year, cage and more onions. Yeah, and I didn't have that many. I wouldn't say I had 24 onions, but they were all in one bed. And then I had some bunching onions, kind of sporadic in places, but they really didn't do anything. None of my bunching onions did. And I think it was more so I had basil. That basil plant got so big. The pineapple sage plant got ridiculously big. My mint peppermint got ridiculously big. I had lavender in a pot around one of the beds. Um, but whatever it was, But it confused the devil, which is the bugs. And then two of my beds were just mostly peppers, and nothing really messed with those. I had probably two peppers that got bitten on through the whole season, and they were hot peppers. And I was like, I hope you enjoyed. They probably burnt their mouths to pieces because they was hot peppers. So enjoy. They didn't get near the sweet peppers, but that's probably because they had already burnt their mouth up messing with them other ones. So I'm definitely going to have onions um, in abundance next year. But I don't know if it's going to be in abundance. I'm definitely going to have onions, but I'm going to have a lot of garlic because I'm going to be putting a lot of garlic down for next year. They say this is the time to do it. I haven't bought any yet. So if anybody's bought their garlic yet, please share where. Because I went on Botanical, I think it was. Interest is what it's called. And I want to say they were sold out already. Um, I don't know where to get it. I think I looked at Haas as well, Haas Tools, and I think they were sold out. But and I guess I could try the box stores here. And we do have a nursery here. I haven't tried them yet either. I might go there tomorrow morning just to see if they have any. But yeah, you need some too, Mike. I need garlic because I want to put a lot down for next year. I love garlic. So I definitely want to do that. And so I can have my own. Um, next year I don't plan on having as many plants as I did this year. Um, I just don't anticipate that I'm gonna need so many. Um, so I'll have room to do a lot of other things that I didn't do this year. As ornamental. What is ornamental onion? You know what? I have some sunflower seeds and I wanted them so bad because everybody was having sunflowers and they were so beautiful and yada yada. I heard that the sunflowers attract, is it aphids? I think it's aphids. It's something that's not good. And I was like, why is everybody growing these things if they attract the bad bugs? Who knows what they attract? And I bought the dwarf ones so they wouldn't be too tall and I couldn't deal with it or yada yada. Or maybe I should grow the because I do have the tall ones as well. I think somebody sent me some seeds. It might have been Broke Farmer or somebody sent me some sunflower seeds that were for the taller ones. I think it was Broke. But anyway, um, maybe that will they be so tall that the bugs will be up there instead of because you know what I'll do. Those seeds have not been opened. They will go in a giveaway because I do plan on having a monetization celebration. I am not monetized, but I am getting there. I definitely have the subscriber count. I have the only thing I'm trying to get is the view hours. Um, so and it's getting there. So I'm not rushing it, but when I get there, I am going to have a celebration. I didn't anticipate having seeds for the celebration, but if they be trying to, if it sees the bugs penetrate, they probably gonna be whatever the prize is. We're just gonna throw some seeds in there. Not edible. Oh, I never heard of them. Interesting. I have never heard of them, G Mama. They have pretty flowers. Okay. Use what as trap plants? Sunflowers? Say more, Mike. What are you talking about? I saw Emma Gardner had a list. I might even put myself on it because I've ordered from Emma Gardner before. I've ordered from all the places I mentioned, Botanical, Haas, all of them. Um, he had a wait list when I looked. That was last month sometime, but but that's where I got my message. So he may be still not. I think he had a wait list for when he had it available. The last time I looked, anyway. LP, did you say what state you're in? I might have missed it. What do they trap? So should I grow them so they attract the stuff that I don't want? So if that's the case, I need to grow them away from me because I don't like bugs. So if I see bugs all over a plant, no, that's not. I don't know. I don't know. Hey Angela, I don't know if that's gonna work, Mike. I'm having a moment out loud on this live because I'm freaking out right now. I I don't even like where my I don't like it. Um, I now see. I don't mind that. I don't mind planting stuff that are going to attract the bees and butterflies. Um, but the bad stuff, the other stuff, the creepy looking stuff. Angela, we were talking about meal prepping and freezer meal prepping. So like no freezer meal prepping and crock pot freezer meal prepping, which is two of the things that I like to do going into the fall and winter so I can have things ready conveniently for when I don't feel like cooking. So I am going to be doing some content for that. So you missed the live, just kind of just openly discussing it, but I do plan on when I do my prep doing a video of that so I can share that with you guys. So videos to come of those preps, and it could give you some meal ideas. And guess what? Those things don't have to be prepped. It'll still just give you some meal ideas. You don't have to freezer prep it to be something you eat. It doesn't have to be frozen first. So it'll just be some meal ideas on top of that for people who just maybe don't have the space or don't really want to do meal prepping, you know. But don't think because it's just you can't do meal prepping as well. Because I know a couple people in here, it's just them. Um, I'm not saying who because it's nobody's business who that is, but I just know that there's some people in here that it's just them, and they're probably like, I don't need a big pan of this or a big this or that. You don't have to do that because there's things that I eat that the rest of my family doesn't, and vice versa. So I just make it smaller, my prep for it, so that when I want it, I don't have like a whole lot for two or three people because it's just me eating it. I might have two servings so I can eat it then, and then I can have leftovers for when I want them. So yeah, I'm just starting to plant my. Me too, G Mama. That's why I was asking. I think I only had marigolds. Yeah, I had something else in there, but I didn't know what I was doing. And then in the front, of course, I had lilies and I have hyacinths in the front. And then I had some other kind of flower that I found on clearance at Walmart because, you know, Walmart has one job with their plants, and that's to water them, and they don't do it. So all you got to do is just come back in a couple weeks if you see something there, unless it's a Bonnie plant because they can't um, mark down my Bonnie plants. None of the stores can. Bonnie has to come in and do that. But the stuff Walmart had the same stuff Bonnie did of their own line of stuff. So they had the peppers and the tomatoes and the flowers and all those type of things. And I would just wait a couple weeks because I'm like, they ain't gonna water. And I did, and I go back and I was getting stuff for like $1. I got a 6 pack of peppers or 4 pack of peppers for $1. I don't know, dollar something. And then I got this flower, this plant. It was really pretty. It was dying, but it wasn't dead, and it was like $1 something. So I brought it back to life, and it's doing great. Hey, Juicing with Jay. I did email you. I didn't see your message until today, but I did send you an email. Um, oh, 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 oh! I can't wait. I can't wait. Interesting. This is exciting. I'm not. I'm gonna. I may do a. We'll see. I might do a live opening, or at least a video. Um, I'll probably do a video. They sure didn't water the plants this year. They don't. They don't look for Walmart to do it. You know, Home Depot and Lowe's and Tractor Supply and all those places, they water their plants. They just gonna go out there with the hose and give it a good water. Walmart, them so and so's But you know what? You're going to get some plants that will live. When I tell you, I got an herb pack. It had 4 different herbs in it. I think it had basil, thyme, um, basil, thyme, rosemary, and maybe parsley in it. And when I tell you that thing was like, them plants looked like they was dead. And I was like, nah, I think it still got a little life in it. And I don't even think I paid $1 for that 4 pack. And I brought it home. And when I tell you the time looked like it was like, it was like, it was like literally taking last breaths. All of it did good. I brought it home. I put it in some good soil, and then put them in these individual pots. Some pots I got at Home Depot, because not Home Depot, Lowe's. The pots that they throw to the side because they don't need it, or the containers and stuff. I always go and get that stuff. I grab all of them that I can because they don't charge you for them; they're free. So I put each one in their own little planter. Every one of them did great. Every single one of them got big and full, and because all they had to do was water, and they don't do it. Oh, you over here using big words, G Mama. Chrysanthemums. And I've heard I heard it in a movie, I think, once where somebody was trying to say it and they couldn't. It might have been Chris Tucker or something, I think. It sounds familiar. Are excellent for repelling. Really? I did have two. I had another flower in my garden. I did nasturtiums. I did do those. And they actually were pretty. And I still have some blooming right now that bloom late. Don't know why. I think that bed might not have been as the soil might not have been as good as the other beds, because the other bed that had it, them things took off right away. Um, See, that's how my nasturtiums do. That they're one of my plants is it's big now. It was little forever. It's finally have flowering and all that. Hi, Mary. Like before, how are you tonight? I'm great. How are you? We were talking about freezer meal prep and crockpot freezer meals, and I am going to be doing some videos of my meal prep. I keep seeing some little floaties going across my dang on camera. I don't know what that is. Like little, I don't know. It looks like little cottony things. Anyway, um, I am going to be doing a video, well, some videos of the prepping. This weekend, I'm going to be prepping beef freezer meal preps. So I know I'm doing some meatballs and some meatloaf, but I'm going to show how I do that, how I store it up for the freezer, and it just makes my life easier in the fall and the winter, because some days I just don't want to cook. I just don't want to be in the kitchen. I shouldn't say I don't want to cook. I don't want to be standing in the kitchen cooking. So if it's something I could take out the night before and either that next morning put it in my crock pot, or have it when I get home from work and be able to just stick it in the oven and not have to stand in the kitchen cooking, I'm all about it. So I'm going to share how I do that and what kind of things I prep up. And hopefully it can give someone else ideas. And like I was saying before, it also, let me say this before I get into that. If you just now getting into the live, drop frugal, FRUGAL, in the chat so that your channel link will drop. But I was saying before, because I know there's some people in the chat who don't have a family, it might be just them. You can prep for yourself. You just don't prep. You can prep it in smaller portions. The $1.25 tray has smaller aluminum pan type containers. You can prep those for you. You can prep several of those. Put them in your freezer. You want lasagna, you want chicken pot pie, you want whatever, go in your freezer, pull it out, put it in your oven. Life is good. I'm telling you. So yeah, that's what we're talking about though. But definitely drop your channel link. Angela, drop your channel link, girl. Jay, drop your channel link. Anybody in here? LP, did you drop your channel link? I don't think I said it since you've been in here. Okay, see you later, LP. I'm about to wrap it up. I said that a while ago, but I really am. Got to check out your. Yes, and there's some old videos, like I said, in my playlist for meal prepping, but they're like I did those like 4 or 5, if not longer. I mean, it's been a while. I did them a long time ago, so I'm going to do some new ones. How about that? Some of the stuff I still prep, even from 4 or 5 years ago. Burgers. I'm not prepping burgers on this round because I still have plenty prepped up in my freezer, but I do prep them. I pat them out. I use parchment paper to keep them from freezing together, and I lay them on there, and I put them in either a Ziploc bag or in my why do I keep forgetting what that thing is called, vacuum sealer, and store it up. Yep, that's what I do. But this time I'm doing meatballs and meatloaf for sure. And then I'll be cooking up a bunch of ground beef and I store it up in 1 pound increments. And then when I want to make tacos or chili or spaghetti or whatever, I don't have to cook up the ground beef. So yeah. Oh, you don't? Okay. I didn't know you didn't have a YouTube LP. You be supporting out in these streets though, so I appreciate you. I absolutely appreciate you. Um, you did, Angela. You done checked out those videos. It's some people. Listen. I be getting comments to this day. Most of my meal prep and crockpot meal videos are some of my highest viewed videos. Like I have some videos that are like 20, 30K views that are like that old because people are looking for that stuff, especially this type of time of year. I be on Pinterest looking for stuff. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, I want to see if I could do something different with these meatballs. I can. Guess what? I could do a barbecue. I could do an Asian um, um, sauce on them and make some broccoli and white rice and have that. But y'all, the possibilities be endless. But you already got it prepped. I prep my foods, my meats with simple seasonings so that I don't have like it's already inspired with a certain seasoning so that if I want to make it a different way, I can. I always keep it simple so that whenever I make it, I can put whatever I want on it and get that flavor that I want. So I just keep it simple. And sometimes I don't have some of the stuff I might not season before I freeze it. So yeah. But guys, we're gonna wrap this up. It has been great. And Angela, I just still didn't see you drop your link. I want you to drop your link because her art, y'all, if y'all haven't been over to her channel, I wish she would do some tutorials so I can do some art with her. Because beautiful. I mean, seriously, beautiful. Um, it will. Pinterest is a rabbit hole. And I have different, I don't know if you do this, songs, but you probably do. I have like different, I don't know, they're not called categories, but you know how you set up different kind of like folders, I guess, for the stuff that you're following. Listen, I got so many. I be following because I like a lot of different stuff. So even when I with the food stuff, I follow different types of food stuff because I like vegetarian style meals. I like vegan style meals. I like regular meals. I like crock pot meals. I just be, yeah, it's a rabbit hole because then sometimes something else will pop up and then now here you are now scrolling through all the stuff for that thing. It's just a rabbit hole. But yes, so fun. Love the sharing. And if you didn't hear the link drop is frugal. If you type frugal FRUGAL in the chat, it will drop your link. And then we're gonna get out of here. And I appreciate each and every one of you for sticking with me for this long. I don't even think I've been on the live this long. But I will definitely be doing a video for my meal prep and get that out. Hopefully I can get it edited and out Monday. I will give you guys a heads up. My meal prep videos go a little bit long. I mean, they're not like an hour, but they're probably at least a half hour. I will try to get it edited down as short as I can, but it's really hard to do. with prepping, because people want to be able to see what you do, what you're doing, what you're adding, because sometimes people don't know what all you can, put in the stuff for freezing it. So I'm going to show you all that, but I'm going to try to condense it as best as I can so it just doesn't get too long and drawn out. And if I'm get good enough, I will put timestamps, but I'm not that good yet, but we working on some things. So, you know, the best shit journey, she's trying to turn me into a real YouTuber. But yes. But I appreciate you guys, and I hope everybody has a good night. And maybe I'll see some of you tomorrow in TT's Urban Pantries Live doing the canning of the chili. That will be awesome. You will enjoy that if you are even thinking about canning. Maybe you're not there yet, but you're thinking about it. You can see the process, see what she does, see how like effortless it really is, and you'll realize it's nothing to worry about. You don't have to be scared to can, and it's great. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna get out of here, and I will talk to you later. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.